At the beginning of the movie, we meet a college students, 2 couples and 4 singles who are going on spring break. One of them, called Jerry, has a house that they can stay in the backwoods of Kentucky. Could this be a big mistake? So Jerry gets his buddies to join him on vacation. They go off for the weekend in search of sex and booze. 3 of the girls are pretty and they're all quite well endowed. And they all wear tight white t-shirts, so in one has high-heeled shoes. The guys are just a mixture of college jock and nerd, looking to get lucky with the girls at the weekend. 1 girl is a bimbo, 2 are fairly clever, and the 4th one's only there cause she's the bimbo's ugly friend. The house is situated down a track well off the highway. The headlights sweep across it and out into the trees. In the background there are shadows moving in the bushes. Jerry gets out of the car and promptly drops the keys. He looks around the car, but sadly he can't find them. But he still has the house keys, so he goes up on the porch. Come on guys, he says, we'll find the car keys later. If we look around inside the place, we're bound to find a torch. They all go in, the lights go on, and inside it's quite cozy. The food's unpacked, the wine uncorked, they start to eat and drink. I know, says the bimbo, let's tell some horror stories. That'll start the weekend off quite well, what do you think? Then 1 girl called Denise has to go outside for fresh air. Once again we see those shadows moving in the trees. We hear a scream, a gurgling sound, and suddenly there's silence. They rush outside, find pools of blood, but no sign of Denise. It's just a joke, says Jerry, she's just trying to scare us. She'll be waiting for us when we get back inside. They run back in, but there is no Denise in there to greet them. She's playing games, says Jerry, she's just found a place to hide. But by now it is apparent that there is somebody out there. In fact, there may be more than one, judging by the noise. But instead of staying inside and barricading the doors and windows, 3 of them go back outside, the bimbos and 2 boys. What's worse, they go outside without a light or weapon, just a full moon beaming down upon the bimbos' gorgeous breasts. They blunder through the undergrowth, lose track of each other, and one by one they run into some most unwanted guests. Cause the killers all are ghoulish, 3 sons and a mother, horribly mutated and hopelessly inbred. They communicate with grunts and squawks and carry large machetes, axes, knives and chainsaws, and one has Denise's head. So one by one the boys and girl are captured by the monsters and dragged off to the lair to meet a fate that's worse than death. The guy is killed without a thought and hung up in a larder, but the girl is spared for later. By the way, her name is Beth. The 4 remaining students cower in the kitchen, and Jerry says he'll try to go to get help with the car. He finds the keys, but still he meets a bloody gruesome end, cause there's a killer in the backseat, so he doesn't get too far. So this leaves 3, 2 girls and a final guy called Kevin. The bimbo's friend collapses, paralyzed with fear. The other girl called Tina tries to comfort her, but suddenly a knife flies through the window and slices off her ear. Well, hysteria is not the word that can describe the mayhem. The overacting's awful as they start to scream and shout. They rush out of the kitchen, down into the cellar, hoping by some chance that they will find a safe way out. The audience is given hope because they find a trapdoor, a hidden one that lies concealed underneath a mat. They pull it up and then go down a ladder to a tunnel. With luck they'll be out of there in seconds flat. But sadly they're mistaken, cause it doesn't lead to safety. It merely links them up with a monster's rundown shack, and by the time they see what's up ahead, it's much too late to save them. There's no hope of salvation, there's no way of turning back. So one by one they're captured by the monsters and the mother, and they're chopped into small pieces and thrown into a pot. Cause the killers all are cannibals, in case you haven't twigged yet. That's the reason for the movie and the basis of the plot. So now there's only one loose end, one person to account for. The bimbo who was captured, that's the character called Beth. But it turns out she's the sister of the mutant, so she's normal, and she's the one who's lured the other victims to their death. So now the film is over and we get the final titles. Another slasher movie, low budget, poorly done, but the audience is happy as they leave the movie theater. It was very entertaining and the sequel will be fun. It was very entertaining and the sequel will be fun. Happy Halloween.